So I'm playing Galadriel.
I play Gil-galad.
I play Princess Disa.
And she is a Noldorian elf.
The High King of the Ñoldor.
She is wife to Prince Durin IV.
So I'm Megan Richards, and I play a character called Poppy Proudfellow. She is a Harfoot.
Hi, I'm Markella, Kavanagh, and I play Nori Brandyfoot, who is also a Harfoot.
So Harfoots are a nomadic community. They travel through the seasons. They have these carts, which is their home. So every family has a cart, and as they travel, they bring their homes with them. So they very much have their homes on their back. They're constantly looking over their shoulder in order to make sure that the community is safe, because that's the most important thing.
You know, you see the Harfoots and the Hobbits, and they both share physical similarities. So they've both got the feet and they've both got the ears. But the biggest difference is actually their circumstances. So the Hobbits have the Shire, they have their home. That's all been set up, whereas the Harfoots are very much actively searching for that and for that kind of sense of solid stability and place. And so I think that that's kind of the main disparity between the two.
So I'm playing Galadriel, and she is a Noldorian elf. So Galadriel originates from Valinor. She's one of the oldest elves. She's older than the moon, and she's a pretty big deal. She's been part of like loads of the biggest historical moments in Middle-earth.
And I'm playing Halbrand, and he is a human. It's really exciting, but the character isn't, while it's original, I think what the showrunners and the writing team have done such an amazing job of is creating a character that is built on the essence of Tolkien. It's a character that has similarities to other characters that are in the canon. And it's really the themes that Tolkien wrote exist within Halbrand.
What's so amazing about Tolkien is that he wrote a world and wrote a history of thousands of years. So there's thousands of years before the Galadriel of the Second Age and the Galadriel that we all know from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think one of the most important things is the rings haven't been made and they corrupt, and so the elves aren't completely aware of the level to which they can be corrupted. And so I think that changes her. She also doesn't have the gift of foresight yet, so. I didn't hear from Cate Blanchett, which I think is good, because I don't think I could handle that. I mean, I have watched those films. If it was on a video tape, they would have been worn out.
I play Gil-galad, the High King of the Ñoldor. He's an elf, obviously. He's the longest reigning High King of the Ñoldor. Well, I mean, what we know from the books is that this particular group of elves had the opportunity to go back to Valinor, live in tranquility and bliss in elvish Valhalla, and they chose not to. They chose to stay on this dirty, disgusting, dangerous, evil-infested rock where all the creatures want to kill each other, potentially sacrifice ourselves and our race to preserve it, because we believe in hope. And I think that's what motivates them. There's something about the immortality of elves. How do you muster the strength to have hope after you've seen everyone you know and love die over and over, and the inevitable rise of evil over and over, fallibility of man over and over? How do you believe again? And they do. That strength and that passion motivates them. Well, I think he's a quintessential leader in a way that we wish our leaders outside of the genre were. That he leads by example, he leads with grace. His goal is to encourage those around him to become passengers on the journey that they're destined to be on. I think of him more like a parent. He's offering structure, he's offering advice, but also giving the freedom to become who you can be. And I love that about him, especially in his relationship with Elrond. There is a mentor-mentee dynamic. He is powerful enough, prescient enough, and experienced enough to pull rank at a moment's notice, but he chooses not to. That he uses and wields that kind of power sparingly and with grace.
I'm Nazanin Boniadi, and I play Bronwyn, who is a human Southlander, and she is in a forbidden romance with gorgeous elf elf.
Yes, dude.
Arondir, played
Troublemaker.
by Ismael Cruz Córdova.
Troublemaker, man. So my name is Ismael Cruz Córdova, and I play Arondir, a Sylvan elf who is a soldier tasked with watching over the people of the Southlands. They were on the wrong side of history when the elves were tasked of watching over them and keeping the law and making sure that this didn't happen again. He is a little bit of an outsider in terms of his sensibilities and questioning why we're there and who are these people. And in that deep curiosity, he starts falling for this one human who shares similar values and is also an outcast and is also, a dissenting voice. You have the elves that saw the light, the elves that didn't see the light. So the elves that did go to Valinor and the elves that continued that journey. But again, within the many cultures and differences of the elves, I can speak about specifically my people and where I come from. And of course, they have every elf has this overarching reverence for nature, and they learn from nature and they protect it as well and see it as sacred. But then my kinds of elves in this little corner of Middle Earth are soldiers and warriors, and Arondir is quite the skilled warrior himself, although he used to be a grower, hailed from Beleriand many centuries ago. But they have, definitely in terms of their behavior, I think you see the high elves that are quite verbose, like more involved in the politics of it all. They are the citadel, and then you have these other guys doing the military work, pretty much like, I guess, our own society. And I'm one of those other guys.
I play Princess Disa. She is a dwarf, the first female dwarf that we will see, and she is a powerhouse, a force of nature. She is a mother, she is wife to Prince Durin IV, and she is keeper of many secrets, many superpowers, and I'm desperately excited to bring her to life.
And I play Prince Durin IV, and I live in Khazad-dûm. We certainly see Khazad-dûm at a golden age where it's thriving, everything is well, we are happily married, aren't we? Yes. We're happily married and we have children, and Khazad-dûm is thriving.
We're very much in a position of power at this point, and the fans, the world, get to see Khazad-dûm alive, functioning, the dwarves interacting with each other. It is no longer a tomb, it is a place to behold and to see. And of course, we sit very close to the tippity top in terms of where we're positioned as prince and princess. So there are decisions to be made, battles of all sorts to win.
Make sure to check out more of the cast telling us about the Númenóreans in the Rings of Power.